We love a good live show, and that's why I'm going to pop in here to begin to help Peter
Absolutely.
know his
Yeah.
mic is
Thank
muted.
you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Peter Meredith. We're so glad you guys could join us today. We're going to demo a new Tech Eagles partnership and product with Abyde to help you all manage your HIPAA compliance. And we have helped medical clients for many, many years with HIPAA compliance. In our experience, we have identified three main areas where three main points where medical practices suffer regarding HIPAA compliance. The first is HIPAA is confusing, it's time consuming, and lastly, it is hard to have a clear picture of your compliance status. Today, TJ is going to demo a new solution for HIPAA compliance that is powered by our partnership with Abyde. We've reviewed many different solutions for HIPAA compliance, and we can honestly say this is the most simple, streamlined, and clear solution we have ever seen. So I'll turn it over to TJ for his presentation. He'll show you what it's like to use Abyde for your HIPAA compliance. And as we go through, just throw your messages in the chat if you have any questions, and we'll circle back to those at the end.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Peter. Just to introduce myself, my name is TJ. I'm the general manager at Tech Eagles. And of course, at Tech Eagles, our job is to try to take all the hassle out of IT for small businesses, medical practices, and all the above. So we, in doing that, continually look for partners and vendors that make your life as a business owner, practice manager, whatever you may be, as easy as possible. So we have a long history with HIPAA compliance. We've used quite a few vendors out there, and I can say to this point right now in time, without any doubt whatsoever, Abyde is leaps in light years away from everyone else right now with how easy it is, how simple it is, and just the overall use of the program. So Peter, thank you very much. I'm going to jump over and I'm going to show a little bit of Abyde off just to set some expectations for today. I will not be demoing the full program of Abyde, but I'm going to go through and give you kind of a high level look and also looking at some of the items that we got excited about that make life really easy inside of Abyde. So it's one of those great things. So we'll get on over and we will show it off. So what you're looking at here right now is the Abyde main portal. This is what a office manager, HIPAA compliance officer, manager at a HIPAA covered entity would look at when they sign up for this program. So just to cover our bases, Abyde offers three main compliance programs. They offer HIPAA for covered entities, they offer HIPAA for business associates, and they also offer OSHA. So those are three separate programs, but they all will look and operate the exact same way here, just with different terminology and different things where they apply. So the first thing we're going to look at is one of the biggest reasons most people sign up for a HIPAA compliance program, and that is how to complete a security risk analysis. Abyde makes it super simple once you get your account set up, which is a super simple process of how to do your security risk analysis. So just to walk you through how you get set up really quickly and how that all takes place, you contact Tech Eagles or Abyde as our partner. They'll get you signed up. You'll get a welcome email. And in that email, there's two things in there. There's activate your account, and then there's also schedule a time with the Abyde Academy. That's where one of their customer success people come through. They'll schedule a time with you and walk you through how to get started on all this. So we're going to assume you've already done that, and we're going to jump right into the security risk analysis. So on this demo account, as you see on my screen here, I know my mouse may be a little bit small, so I'm going to put security risk analysis right here at the top of the screen. This one has already been complete, as you see, because it is a demo account. But when you first log in here, you would see a big green start button right here, and you would click on it or security risk analysis, and it opens it up. So once you actually click on it and it's going to load in, say, oh, we're already completed. We can go view our scorecard. This is going to let us see all of the same questions that you just went through on your security risk analysis and go through and ask these questions. So just for sake of you all getting to see how it actually looks, I'm going to go to our ongoing compliance section down here, which is what you will do about once a month. It takes about 15 minutes to complete, that you'll go through and review your questions that may be higher or medium risk and show that you're working toward those. So the way the actual program looks when you're doing it, it's going to pop up a question here. This question is an administrative safeguard. There's 3 different categories. It will show you the section of HIPAA or OSHA that it's for. And your scorecard indicates that not all computers and servers have a current subscription to antivirus software. Has your organization implemented antivirus for all computers and servers? So we run into this a lot at Tech Eagles. We'll have a client that will do a HIPAA security risk analysis, and then they'll contact us and be like, hey, can you help us with our ongoing IT? This is something that Tech Eagles will be able to help you out with. Absolutely. That's separate from what Abyde is. But you would go in, you would answer it, and you would save, go to next. And you're just going to go through all these questions. The most important thing when answering your security risk analysis that is important is be honest. Yes, no, or don't know. If you have a note about it, add it in. That's all important stuff to know in there. But that's as simple as it is. It's going to explain what it is, why it's important, and go along with that. So if anyone has done a HIPAA risk analysis before, you'll know that part of HIPAA compliance, there's a lot of policies, procedures, and forms that have to be maintained and kept in place. And some of those are very complicated. It will tell you, hey, you have to have a full-blown disaster recovery plan, but you may not know how to create one of those. And it doesn't tell you what all needs to be included unless you dig real deep into the law of what it actually wants you to go. This is another situation where Abyde makes things super simple for practice managers, business owners, all the above. They have a whole section dedicated to policies and procedures that I'll get into a little bit later, but they have one specifically for disaster recovery because it's very important and a lot of people skip it. So if I click on disaster recovery to log in here and look at it, it's going to ask me a set of questions. So very simple. This is all it is. There's 4 sections. Local first responders. We want to know who the local police department, fire department, any other ones you want to put in there. Your main vendors that are important to disaster recovery, such as your data backup, your IT vendor, your EHR software. You would enter that information in. Emergency roles and responsibilities. We see here that the disaster recovery lead is John Snow. Communication to media doesn't have anybody in there, so we're going to say that's John Lennon. John Lennon's going to be responsible for that. And you'll say, what's this? I'm in Florida. We are absolutely at risk for hurricanes, so depending on where you are. So this is just your vulnerability list as your assessment that you see it. Say, no, I don't think we're too bad at theft, but software, earthquake, nah, all that. You answer it, and you should put it in there. If you have a lab, you'll answer that, and you hit submit. And that's it. And you may be wondering, well, answer those questions, but how does that get me something that I can show to a HIPAA auditor or someone if they ask, where's your disaster recovery plan? That's where we're going to go into the policies and procedures. So inside here, you're going to see 3 tabs at the top: procedures, policies, and forms. So we're looking right here at this disaster recovery plan. I'm going to go ahead and download it. It's going to load in just a second. Internet's taking a dive. And then here we go. So you are going to get a professional looking document that is going to have all the required stuff. It actually notes the section, the purpose, the policy, what the definition of a disaster is, your threat of said disasters, your likelihood for each one. A big long document that you would not know what all needed to go in there unless you are a HIPAA law expert. It's going to list your emergency contacts, all your employees' contact information, who does what, all of what you're supposed to do. All of that document was just created for you just by being a member of Abyde's program, and then also filling out those questions to get that. Like I said, depending on how you actually look at all the policies and procedures for that stuff, or how you answer your security risk analysis, it actually adds in more policies in here that are customized for you, such as breach notification, email, all that stuff. Peter, you care to talk a minute about how important some of these policies are?
Yeah, absolutely, TJ. And one of the challenges with HIPAA is, what policies do we need and how do we have them and where are they stored? But Abyde does a fantastic job of really understanding what policies you need, and based on your security questions, it creates the policies that it puts them all here, and you can reference those. It also has a place for you to get your employees to recognize and acknowledge that they have viewed these policies, and it's just amazing at saving time and keeping everything all organized.
Awesome. And I'm glad you said that. That goes right into our next point. One of the biggest things for employees is tracking down their employees to log into these and actually complete their policies, complete their training, all that stuff. So we know that employees have to do training. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But I'm also going to show you how easy it is for your employees to log into this. There's no complicated passwords they have to create or keep up with. Not a whole lot to really remember at all. You as a business owner, office manager, HIPAA compliance officer, which whenever you fill that role, but you're in this as part of the Abyde Academy, you're already going to walk through and added your teammates in here. Your employees, teammates, whatever you wish to call them. So from that point, we can see if they've signed their confidentiality agreement or anything. So if I needed Jon Snow to sign that, I could just simply click it and email it to him. And I could send it to all employees at one click if I wanted to. But when you first add an employee in, they will get an email that will look similar to this right here. Hi, John. Hello from Abyde. We're proud to have been chosen. Not going to read you the whole thing, but just to give you an idea. It's got a big blue button that you can click to log into the Abyde employee portal. At that point, they will enter in their email address, which I need to copy. Give me 1 second, please. They'll enter that in, and then at that point, a one-time password has been sent to your email. They'll go to their email. They'll have a one-time code. And they will log in. And boom, there we are. As you see, theirs looks a lot different than the manager's side of things. They have location. They do have who their HIPAA compliance officer or officers are with their contact info if they have any questions. They have the same access to the policies and procedures that you saw. Anything that's that only management needs to see will be taken out of there automatically. And then finally, they have their HIPAA training. So they will have any listed HIPAA trainings, OSHA trainings, HIPAA business associate trainings that are recommended in here that they need to take. So it's a simple video to click and watch. I'm going to bring Peter back in to talk about this one because this is one we've talked at length about on this one, is how easy and how wonderful the Abyde training is for HIPAA. Like I said, we've been experiencing HIPAA vendors for a long time, and a lot of training videos are a snooze fest sometimes, so to say. Abyde does a great job of keeping them very short, packed with all the information you need, and very stress-free quizzes. So, Peter, I mean, how was your experience when you did the Abyde training?
Yeah, it was awesome. By far the most helpful, concise, and clear HIPAA training that I've ever done with any product that we've ever used. It's really clear their priority is to get the information to you in as clear and as simple and fast way as possible. The quizzes they're not complicated. They're very simple. They help you understand, yep, you know what you know. And it's just excellent.
Yeah, and you may have thought I was ignoring Peter there for a second, but I actually wasn't. I wanted to show also, it's going to be a little glary because of my light, but the Abyde website, training portal, all that works perfectly in mobile, laptop, desktop, tablet, whatever you want to use. It works well with it. It makes it easy for all your employees to look at and complete. So speaking of that, how do I keep up with them if they've done their training or not? Once again, we can go right into the HIPAA training from the manager portal, and I can see who all's done what training. Oh, and this guy up here, our HIPAA compliance officer also has special training that he needs to do. So once we log in here, let me go back through that there. We'll look down through here, go to HIPAA training from the manager site. We'll see the reporting side of it, and we'll be able to see a list of our employees, if they've actually done the training or not. Let's say Jon Snow here has been dragging his feet. I can send him a reminder that he needs to go do it. Sends him that email. It's a great way to get him back in there and do it. And it's going to show all your recommended training and things as well from there. So super, super easy to do that training, hassle-free of how you log in and do that. Another important thing that's usually a headache for HIPAA compliance officers and just practice managers in general is keeping up with all the BAAs that you need for other covered entities or business associates that you have. That's another thing that Abyde has made so simple. The same kind of process is how employees sign their confidentiality agreement that I went over earlier. But you will just go to Business Associate Portal here at the bottom of the page. I'm going to say, oh, I need to add a new vendor. I'm going to add in the new vendor. Add new. I'm just going to add Tech Eagles for this demo account because they need it. You'll enter in the information. If there's an expiration date, you will do that, and then you hit submit. So that has been sent straight over to that email address to get that. So it will take a little bit. It'll come through into my email. Like I said, not going to show it off too much there. But the important thing to remember and tell your business associates, they don't have to worry about creating a new login, a new password, anything like that. It's a secure link they'll click on. They'll read through the business associate agreement, and then they will just sign it away. And then you've got it on file that is all set and right there for you. So that's a time for me to talk about a little known feature on here that I wanted to show off with you up here in the top right corner called the A drive. Anytime you make a change on any of the Abyde program, it goes into the A drive and it keeps a historical record of it. Makes it super simple. You don't ever have to worry about printing off all the certificates of your employees as they complete training, unless you just want to put them on the wall to show people that they are staying up to compliance with that or something of that nature. But it's all stored in the A drive that you can grab and pull out at any time to show them. So that's a lot of real fun, easy stuff that you can go in there. So got a couple more things to show you, but I'm being told we have a few questions. So we'll go ahead and hit a few of the questions and see what we got.
Yeah, one of our first questions is how much time is expected for the HIPAA compliance officer or the practice manager? How much time do you think they'll have to spend every month or so managing compliance if they use Abyde?
Gotcha. So when you're starting out and you do that Abyde Academy, your very first setup is going to be your longest session. And that will take anywhere from 30 minutes to 5 hours, depending on your pace of how much you stress over the questions and want to do that. Also depends on, as you know, as a practice manager or manager of the office, of how often you have to hunt down your employees to do their training as well. But to get to the question with no jokes, the ongoing compliance section of it, we'll just pop back over here and look at it. I kind of showed it off earlier, the ongoing compliance. That's where we went to answer those questions. You're going to get a reminder email once a month to go in here and update some of the higher risk questions. Because the goal is to show that you are going along with compliance and working towards lowering all these high and medium risk to the low risk. I don't think HIPAA or anyone expects everyone to be right in the green 100% of the time, all the time. So you'll get the email, you'll click on here, you'll take about 10 to 15 minutes to fill out questions, and that's once a month, not once a week, not once a day, once a month to doing that. And every time you go through and complete this, it's going to create a historical record of your HIPAA risk analysis. That way, if there's ever an auditor, you can show, hey, we started here, we're here now, and we're working on this next. So great question, Peter.
Yeah, and that perfectly leads into the next question we had. Somebody was asking, what happens if you get audited?
Well,
that's always our worst nightmare as a practice manager, is that knock on the door.
Yep. I say this all the time, and I will continue to say it. The first thing you're going to do is be thankful that you're in a hospital, because you're more than likely about to have a heart attack because when you hear the word auditor. So, but from there, when it comes to Abyde, they have this great button up in the corner. I'm going to hide our logo so you can see it just slightly better here. A little gear up in the corner. It's where you can do all your account. It's where the A drive's located, but you notice there's also a big red help button here. We can click on that big red help button. Help, HIPAA emergency. Has your organization been visited or contacted by HIPAA enforcement? Activate your HIPAA protection program and get immediate support. Or you can call them directly. You click that button. The Abyde team is going to be all over it. They're going to be there to be along with you with the steps of making sure you know where to point auditors for all your HIPAA information in Abyde, and just to give you general steps and guidance on how to do that. That's one way to do it. The other one, which leads into something else I wanted to talk about, was just dedicated HIPAA support. You have this little button in the bottom corner. You may see it on other websites. It's ran by Intercom. But Abyde has a lot of great information here. You can send them a message directly. You can actually just call them directly. You can sign up for another refresher in the Abyde Academy, or just go through some general help questions that they have in here. They have a lot of great information in here. I like to always go with this one because it's one doctors ask us a lot: is blank technology actually HIPAA compliant? So one of the big ones we get asked about is FaceTime. And I think we all know, Peter, you know as well, is FaceTime actually compliant?
No, it is not compliant.
It's not. There was a short-term stint of emergency use during COVID for telehealth visits and things like that, but overall it is not a compliant way to communicate. So when it comes to HIPAA, but yeah, you've got a whole team dedicated to you just on the HIPAA side of things through Abyde. And of course, you know, they're partnered with us, Tech Eagles. We're here for the technical side to help you out on that. So I think we have one last question. Am I right, Peter? That we need to go over?
Yeah, I just can't emphasize enough how huge it is to have everything all in one place. You got the team of experts right at your fingertips. And that paper trail of changes is super helpful if you get audited, or if you ever need to look at the history. You have proof right here that you are making progress, that you're working on it. I think our last question before we go is what do we do if an employee leaves?
Yeah, I mean, besides following your policies and procedures of how you offboard an employee, when you actually take them out of Abyde, as you should be when you're offboarding things, all your IT systems, make sure you consult with your IT provider for that. Abyde will keep a historical record of all that they've done in Abyde in the A drive. So you can click into the A drive, you know, blah, 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 tells you all the things you should and should not do here. But past HIPAA SRAs, it's going to have all your employees in here. Same thing if you accidentally delete anybody, it's going to have a trash can, all that stuff like that. Now, this is only stuff that you delete out of the drive yourself. If you delete an employee out of Abyde, it's going to go under the employee section, and it will have all the previous employees' information. There's none here because we've not deleted anybody. But that way you can keep historical records of them and their training. That way you're covered if you ever get audited on that. So that's all I really wanted to show about Abyde today. Like I said, I cannot stress enough about how easy Abyde is and how great the content is and how high quality it is. Us at Tech Eagles, we are partnered with a lot of HIPAA covered entities as we help with managed services for IT. So we have to be HIPAA compliant as well. And we always take the training and everything and make sure we're up to the same thing. And I must say, I've never seen our employees complete HIPAA training so quickly in my life and it actually be correct. Higher scores across the thing, nothing but praise from our employees about the training videos, how easy it was. The documents that Abyde provides in there for the procedures, the policies, the forms, such as a check-in and check-out form, all that stuff is just straight on point and easy to use and download and at your fingertips. So I cannot say enough good things about them. Obviously, we're excited to highlight them and have them as a partner. So, Peter, you got any lasting words to leave our viewers with before we take off for the day?
Yeah, thank you, TJ, for that. And thank you, everyone, for being here. If you like what you saw with Abyde and you want to take next steps, just give us a call, send us an email, let us know you're interested. But I think that's it. Thank you, everyone.